Welcome to another edition of the Stack Supplement Podcast. We go through the top stories and exciting announcements shared on our website from the past 7 days. Apologize for the blaring screen in the background. I did do a mild widescreen upgrade, of course, for the betterment and more efficient work, but we're going to get straight into it with a bit of admin as per usual. Firstly, keep an eye out for the Stacked Expo. The Stack Supplement Expo goes live in 2 weeks. September 16th. We were recording this a day late. I had some personal errands to run, but yeah, September 16th going live. All you need to do is go to stackedexpo.com. The hype will start rolling out next week, I believe. We'll be posting some things, teasers, a little bit of features about what people will be bringing and exhibitors will be showing off at the event. And the other bit of admin we have, and this is a bit of a big story, and it was quite fun to see, is Stacked Rewards. We officially laid out, pretty much launched it. So starting from September 1st through to the end of the month will be the first run period. And what that means is basically if you visit the website every single day until the end of the month, so first right to the 30th, 31st, I think it's the 30th, either way, end of the month, and you have that complete consecutive record, we will roll out an email that asks you for your address and if you want to redeem your consecutive days of rewards points for the prize. Now, we did lay out the prizes, and I think I had mentioned it on a previous podcast, but it is pretty much what we had outlined. The first prize, so if you have 30 consecutive days or the whole month's worth, you can redeem that for a supplement sample. If you have 2 months, you can get a couple. I think it's like 2 or 3 supplement samples. I'm not entirely sure on that. If you get 3 months, I believe it's a supplement sample pack, so maybe 5 to 7. These will vary. You get to choose between this brand and that brand. It will be a sponsored or supported brand. Like we might buy them from we have a variety of sources that we'd be buying from. But additionally, there may be an occasion where a brand comes along and says, hey, can we fulfill them this month? Whatever it may be. And then at the 6-month mark, you can get I think it's a full-size supplement. So it'll be like a pre-workout, maybe a bulk creatine, maybe a 2-pound protein powder, again, of that size and range. And then if you can go the entire year, the full 12 months, all 365 days, you can get a 5-pound protein powder or something of similar size. So maybe like a premium pre-workout, a stacked specialty supplement. We might give options for those bigger items because we just don't imagine they'll have the complete variety. Well, obviously, I think we'll have options for that, but either way, keep in mind though, if you redeem the 30 points, the 1 month, those come off. So once you get to the 1 month, you will have to start again. Basically, your points are set to 0. If you make it to 2 months and you redeem that pack, it'll be, so it's not like I go 1 month, I get samples, I go 2 months, I get more samples, 3 months, 6 months. You don't claim each prize at each level. It is basically, it is a very risky way to play because as I mentioned on previously, the way it works is you go to stack.com/rewards, sign up. There are limited spaces and we did hit that limit within a day. So keep in mind that we will expand that number and it's all going to depend on the success rate. So if we get a mountain of people and they all hit that first initial point versus maybe someone does half, whatever it may be, we'll decide on success and hit rate whether or not, well, how many people we can expand to. I can't remember the exact amount the initial program had. I think it was a couple hundred. It was something well in the hundreds. Either way, it got filled up very quickly. And yeah, so you go to that page, enter your email, make sure you have the green box at the top. You can log into multiple devices. So if you throw in your email into your phone and your laptop, it will still counts against the same entry. And yeah, so you gotta have that green box activated, which means you're logged in and signed up. And then each day you need to check the site out, as most people usually do, visit a few, stay informed basically, check out all the latest products and stuff. And then that number will tick up by 1. You need to make sure it ticks up by 1. Because if you miss, let's say you only go on and look at, I don't know, the home page and it doesn't tick up, or you skip a day, that number will reset to 0. So if you don't claim that first sample pack after the first month, and you're like, I'm going to go for the 6th month, I want that full-size supplement, the pre-workout, whatever it may be, you get to say 5 months and you miss a day. This is essentially a game. This is a game, but not a game as in It's not playing around. This is serious. So if you skip, you lose. Back to zero. It's done. We might have some lenience. I think I might introduce a bit of lenience depending on how it goes, but it is a very cutthroat system, all for a bit of fun. And the core purpose is to just keep you informed and let you know how much Stack does, how many new supplements are out there, and keep you up to date on everything. So that's it. That's the rewards program. Keep an eye out. The first run of people are basically shooting for it now. We'll announce, I think we're going to share how many people are in the mix and in the running between now and the end of the month, and then we'll announce at the end of the month, and then we'll expand the program. So yeah, keep an eye on it. Check out the website. We've got a full breakdown of how it goes in stack.com/rewards. And if you have any suggestions, ideas, whatever, shoot them through. And if you see any bugs, by all means send it through, as we're doing our best to make sure this goes off without a hitch. We definitely, if anyone gets their score reset to 0, we want it to be on their doing, not ours from a mistake. So yeah, check out that on the site, but we're going to jump straight into the news now. We've got something a bit fun from the team at Zoomad Labs. Now, they are one of the most interesting brands out there over in Europe. They have, each of their supplements has an animal face bursting out of the side. So basically, that's one of their eye-catching features. They do great formulas for their market in Spain as well as the rest of Europe. They even do some glow-in-the-dark things, creative flavors. They expand into multiple categories, so they're not just pre-protein. They do joint, they do creatine, they do recovery. They do a lot of different, very cool little items. And this past week, they did something we'd seen from a few other brands, but not a lot of. So they came out with what they've called the Zoomad Bot. And what that is exactly is, how do I explain this? It's basically a vending machine. And if you're in Europe, you might have seen this in, actually, you know what? You might have seen this in a regular work environment, a place of business, where you go up, you cappuccino, latte, what you pick, different coffee, beverage, whatever it may be, and then it spits it out, right? And inside the machine, it's got certain powders and mixtures and formulas and whatnot, and it creates the beverage for you. Now, the Zoomad Bot from Zoomad Labs in Europe is very much that. It has 8 different supplements inside, so that could be consistent of 8 different things, so like pre-workout, amino, whatever, or it could be 8 flavors of a pre-workout. Either way, it's 8 different things to choose from. Now, it basically has a touch screen, again, very much like a coffee maker or coffee machine. You press which item you want. It has a little bit of a blurb, like as describing the supplement, gives you a brief look at the facts panel, let you know what you're getting into, and then you press the button to pay the money, and then it spits out a serving, and it puts it into a cup. Now, it's a very cool little system, just knowing how specialized it is and giving you the ability to order supplements from it, I guess. Like I said, very similar to a coffee machine, but it's not coffee. It's pre-workout, aminos, creatine, protein even. It's a very intricate little system and very cool to see. Zoomad now offering it out. I believe that they're offering it out to like retailers, distributors, and gyms and stuff. Gym would obviously be the most ideal situation, or even a convenience store close to a gym. Convenience store far away from a gym. It's a fun little thing to have. And obviously, pouches or servings of supplements are always cheaper than beverages as well. So that can also cut down costs. But yeah, check it out on the site. It's a fun little item. I like how they call it the Zoomad Bot. It is essentially a Zoomad Labs vending machine. And whoever has one, whoever kind of gets one, whether it goes in a gym or whatnot, they do get to choose the items that go inside. So it's not a set standard, which is also helpful if you're in different countries, cultures, continents, whatever, where the flavors, the flavor preference is different, and then the environment might require something different. Like a cafe might want a protein shake, and then a gym would probably prefer maybe a gainer and maybe a pre-workout. So it's a good system and fun little way for Zoomad to expand its presence. Continuing on the realm of some creative and fun little items, Liquid Death never really disappoints. They had 2 pieces of news last week, and this was following the hot fudge sundae flavor of their sparkling water, which they put together in partnership with an ice cream specialist. Now, last week, they went a little bit further. Firstly, but they did special edition artwork for a limited run of their bulk box cans. And so if you've ever bought Liquid Death at the supermarket, or even any other grocery major retailers, you can buy bulk bundles of its cans, of its sparkling water, and it's mountain water. So you can, pick them up in bulk. I think it's 8 or 12. Maybe it's 8. I know they do a variety. I know 8 is one of them, maybe 12. I'm just making that one up. But they do a variety. And major grocery supermarkets have them. Amazon has them too, of course. And at the bottom, though, they have some really alternative eye-catching artwork. So instead of keeping it blank, they put a nice bit of artwork on it. You may remember, I don't know if it was earlier this year or last year, they auctioned off the ability for a brand to turn that artwork into a billboard so they could put their own little advertising material on there. Now they've partnered with Eminem for a special edition piece of artwork in support of his latest album, and those are rolling out to select supermarkets. Now that was extremely limited, extremely big collaboration. Small in terms of what's come of it, as it is just artwork on a special edition boxes. But yeah, cool partnership nonetheless. A rapper mixing it up with a can. What a company, who would have known? But the other item Liquid Death did last week, which was a whole lot more fun and interesting, was that they teamed up with Yeti. Now they've created, I didn't watch what it went for at the end of the week. I know it was finished, but they created a casket, full-on funeral, full-size casket, but they made it with Yeti. And you might know where this is going. So what they did was they made what they called the casket cooler. And it is indeed, on the outside, it very much looks like a full-size, single-body casket. However, it is not a casket. It is an actual cooler. You open up and you can put, I believe it was 378 12-ounce cans in there. That's without ice, which I thought was a fun detail that they put in there. And yeah, basically Liquid Death with Yeti made a custom cooler that's a full-size casket. So you have 378 12-ounce cans, or 252 of the Liquid Death 19.2-ounce tall boys. Again, all without ice, so if you want it to be a little cooler, I guess throw some ice, that'll take away from your space. Who realistically needs a spot with 378 cans either way? But most interestingly is there is only one of these. And Liquid Death is not selling it or giving it away. I guess they are selling it per se, but they are auctioning it off. Very similar to what they did with the artwork that I was referring to. They auctioned it off on their own website. Now, last time I checked, it was at 20 grand. I don't know what it went for. I'll look it up now and see what it went for. And like I said last time, it was 20 grand, over 20 grand. It finished off at $68,000, 68,200 to be exact. And that was from 810 bids. So it was a busy auction, privately held, I guess privately held on their online store, their website. But 68 grand is, I guess, if you're a fan, one-of-a-kind limited edition piece of cooling equipment. And it's obviously made with Yeti, high quality, gets the job done. Kudos to them for finding another way to make headlines and keep things interesting. Next up, we're going to jump over to the biggest story of the week. Actually, was one of the biggest stories we shared last week. And this came from, well, the most popular story, might I add, that just was a treat for our fans. Now, a couple weeks back, I'm pretty sure we mentioned it on last week's episode, Barebells created a special edition or a exclusive key lime pie flavor of its signature protein bar specifically for the US. Now this was something we had seen it do previously, where it had done, I think it was a peanut butter, done a pumpkin one, and it also did birthday cake. So this was the latest in the string of exclusive flavors for the US market. Now there's a new one out over in Sweden. Now this is specifically for Barebells soft protein bar, which is slightly less protein, but in exchange for a softer experience as per the name. Now the flavor, if you followed Stacked and you keep up with all the news that we share from around the world, this flavor won't be too unfamiliar to you. It is Chokladboll. Now this is Swedish, keep in mind this is the Swedish, the spelling is Chokladboll. It is basically translated to chocolate ball, which is a traditional treat in Sweden. And this is something that we've seen a few brands create. And that's not just this year, we've seen a few brands attempt this traditional thing. I guess it would be similar to, pumpkin pie or even key lime pie in the US, in terms of just, it's a familiar flavor in that part of the world, which makes me think this chocolate ball will be exclusive to Sweden. I would be surprised if they expand a traditional Swedish taste across to other places. Maybe other parts of Scandinavia, but I wouldn't count on seeing it outside of those areas. And so yeah, traditionally Chokladboll is a, well, at least in this case, they've brought together a blend of chocolate, coconut, and coffee. So it's sort of like a mocha coconut type thing. chocolate ball with coconut pieces on the outside. It looks damn delicious, and knowing Barebells, especially in its soft protein bar where it aims for better consistency as well as its signature candy flavors and sweetness, I suspect they nail this. They knock it out of the park, and even more so knowing that it's a traditional flavor that many people in Sweden are familiar with. They're not going to want to mess it up. And Barebells, I don't think I've ever had a protein bar from them that kind of disrupted their reputation. It was either on point or not for me, or whatever it may be. And so I suspect this one continues that strong reputation. Again, Barebells being the maker of what is still our #1 rated protein bar. Next up, we're going to go over to Monster Energy, who we basically got a bit of an update. So was it a month or so ago? Details on an all-new flavor of our personal favorite energy drink came to light. It is Ultra Vice Guava, which obviously is a guava-based flavor. Comes with a nice, beautiful teal, turquoise, and like a touch of pinky red, magenta type thing. It's a very like Miami Vice type mix of colors and design, and the flavor is, as I said, Vice Guava, so it is guava based. Now, when details came to light, it was just that it was coming. No one said when, where, whatever. We've got to win, and I guess because it's coming from Monster, this is going to be everywhere. So anywhere you can get Monster Ultra in the US, at least I suspect this flavor will be rolling out. So yeah, Monster Ultra Vice Guava is coming in October. Now, if you've ever seen a launch from Monster, they might give a time frame, and that's not to knock them. That's just generally how it is. And you see this a lot with big brands, beverage brands, protein bar brands, whatever it may be. When they roll something out, it's impossible almost to get every store on track with the rollout, and some will show up with it early, some may not. So I suspect that when they say this is coming out in October, you might see it as early October 1st, but I don't suspect you'll see it absolutely everywhere until the end of October, and maybe not even see it everywhere until early November. I don't know. Either way, it'll be a very staggered rollout, but you will eventually see it in most places, and Monster has, no pun intended, monster distribution. In fact, we just saw that with the C4 Jolly Rancher. So I'm not sure if you mentioned this previously, but details came to light on this one a few weeks back about C4 doing a full series of flavors in partnership with Jolly Rancher. Details came to light on C4 doing a full series of flavors in partnership with the iconic hard candy Jolly Rancher, and yeah, so very similar to what we had seen with Beyond Raw. I believe they had done some Jolly Rancher flavors. C4 has now done it. It consists of 3 flavors. I feel like I can get it right. Jolly Rancher Blue Raspberry, Jolly Rancher Green Apple, and Jolly Rancher Watermelon. I think it might have been, I'm pretty sure there was no cherry on there. It's on the site either way, but those have shown up in a couple of places, and I believe, so not everyone has them. In fact, very few places have them, but they have indeed shown up. So I suspect that they're shooting for a launch or a rollout or something. Details are now out there. The products are now out there. People have mentioned that they've tried them. So I gather that you can get your hands on it in some specific places. But yes, either way, Monster Ultra Vice Guava rolling out in October. Keep a lookout for it. Interestingly, that is right in line with NACS. So NACS is the National Convenience Show. We will be there again this year as we were last year, and look forward to a mammoth of an event. A lot of big beverages announce things that are going to come out either around there or in the coming months. And Monster will be there, as per usual. They had a giant booth last year, and they had a lot of flavors available to sample that weren't meant to be out for another couple of months. And so I suspect this will be there, as well as potentially another flavor we can look forward to in the coming weeks or months. Moving on from there, we jump to RYSE. RYSE announced a big thing. In fact, it was was it last week? I think it was last week, week before. Sorry, not last week, the week before last, that RYSE put out a teaser of what we suspected to be a clear protein RTD, purely because it was a teaser of unlabeled bottles. Didn't say anything, they just said it's not a sports drink. We suspected it to be a clear protein RTD. That product has now been revealed, and it is precisely that. The company has announced a clear protein RTD, and it is pretty much called RYSE Clear Protein. The product comes with 22 grams of protein per bottle, and it's clear protein, so it's going to have lean macros, nutrition everywhere else, low sugar, low carbs, low fat. moderate calories. And then the flavors, some of them are similar to the clear protein powder, which RYSE also just brought to market. There is strawberry banana, again from the protein powder, Kool-Aid fruit punch, key lime pie, and one more authentic flavor in Jello Island pineapple. So yeah, you can get that now. Sorry, not now. Sorry, next week I think it is. I believe it's the 8th of September. So this Sunday, I believe, was the date that they said. Forgive me if I'm wrong. We mentioned it on the website. Rolling out, yeah, basically within the next couple of weeks. And it is going to be everywhere. And RYSE, I guess, has another brand that has immense distribution. Not as strong as Monster, but it is very impressive, especially in specialty. So keep an eye out for that. I would be very interested to see how it tastes. Clear protein RTDs haven't always had the best rap. They definitely don't, in my experience, haven't always tasted as good as a classic milkshake type thing. But RYSE knows what it's doing. It is known for its flavors. Its original loaded protein is two-time Protein Wars champion and damn delicious at that. So we look forward to giving that one a shot when it rolls out shortly. And then the last story we have is a giant one, is a big one, and it comes from the team at Redcon1. So earlier in the year, Redcon1, I swear it was earlier in the year, Redcon1 announced a partnership with none other than Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, where he came on board as part owner or co-owner. And with that announcement, Redcon1 revealed that it was going to be launching a flavor of its popular energy drink called Primetime Punch. That beverage took a while to roll out, but it did, I think it was relatively recently, start rolling out, hitting stores, becoming available. But it turns out, and not surprisingly, that there is a lot more from the two. So after that partnership, and before the actual Primetime Punch Redcon1 energy drink came to market, Redcon1 had a few items listed on his website as Coach Prime selected, like a favorites type thing. And it kind of gave an indication as to like what we might be seeing. Maybe we're seeing flavors of these eventually, and that's kind of feels what's happened. So this past weekend, Redcon1 launched a fully loaded Coach Prime collection. So they've gone and put together a bunch of other supplements and products in partnership with Deion Sanders himself, and it consists of a Primetime Punch flavor of Canteen and Total War. So that same Redcon1 energy drink flavor for those two supplements. And then in addition to that, it has also put together two flavors for the MRE light protein powder in red velvet and strawberry cheesecake. There is also two entirely new supplements, again, both with this alternative Coach Prime branding, in creatine plus hydration, which is a creatine-based muscle builder with some electrolytes in the mix, as well as a few other components. And then there is Primetime Pre, which is a cost-effective pre-workout, which we actually likened a lot to Raw Nutrition's Essential Pre-Workout. In fact, in our post, we mentioned that of the I think it's the 6 different ingredients, all of them are in Raw's Essential Pre-Workout, with the exception of choline by tartrate. Sorry, I believe Raw's one has tyrosine and this one has choline. So the difference is, again, a different ingredient, but similar purpose. And the dosages on most of them are relatively similar or the same. And so it's very much, though, a cost-effective pre-workout. So if you're not familiar with the term, or I guess the strategy, you get fewer ingredients, lighter dosages than you would, say, a more mainstream or premium pre-workout. And in this case, Redcon1 has Total War and Total War Black Ops. Primetime Pre is, I guess, very similar to C4 Sport or Cage Sport or Raw's Essential Pre, where you pay a lot less, but you get a slightly lighter formula. And so the backing Primetime Pre from Redcon1, you get 6 grams of citrulline, 3.2 beta-alanine, a gram each of taurine and choline by tartrate, 360 Himalayan pink sulfur hydration, and 200 milligrams of caffeine. So again, very light, very straightforward, and the price on it is $24.99 for 20 servings. So again, in that $20 range, which tends to be where the cost-competitive pre-workouts land. And then today, Tuesday, yes, we also posted a product, another part of the collaboration collection that wasn't in our initial announcement, and that is a protein bar. So in addition to all of this, Coach Prime and Redcon1 have also made a strawberry cheesecake flavor of the MRE bar. So the same flavor that is, well, one of the two flavors in the partnership for the MRE light protein powder. They've also done that for the MRE bar. Again, mammoth collection, a mammoth collaboration. very big, even by Redcon1's standards. They've always done large flavor series, and we did suspect more coming from them after they did the Primetime Punch Redcon1 energy drink. But I guess I didn't expect it to be this big, especially involve some all new supplements in the creatine hydration and Primetime Pre. Either way though, you can check this out all on the site. We've got everything up there, fully broken down, fully detailed. As always, thank you for listening. All we do to continue our efforts and keep the support going is to visit the website. That's all you need to do. That's all we ask. Hence the benefit and focus of the rewards program. Head to the site once a day, twice a day, 3 times a day, 50 times a day, 100,000. You know, just visit, check it out, learn everything you can about everything that's coming to market. That's all we want you to do, and all we really do every single day. Share the website with your mom, your dad, brother, your sister, friends, and family, and we look forward to having you back next time on the next week's episode. And it will get pretty jagged moving forward as we do have a lot of travel coming up with the Olympia NACS, supply side and whatnot, but I will endeavor to keep it going, especially on the road. Thank you for listening.